What's up, everyone? This is Tatum. I'm back with another episode of Off the Wall. For those that's new to my channel, this is my segment where I like to go through my record collection and just highlight some of my favorite records while they're in my collection, blah, blah, blah. So today, I'm going to be discussing the album. Ironically, today, it's its 25th anniversary, which is crazy. 25 years, yeah, I'm really old. So today, I'm going to be discussing TUPAC, All Eyez on Me. Just want to throw up the West Side, match with his West Side. All Eyez on Me is like one of Tupac's biggest. Well, it is his biggest album besides his greatest hits. I read on Twitter today somebody said All Eyez on Me is like Tupac's greatest hits album, and if you listen to the greatest hits album, it's pretty much just All Eyez on Me. Plus a couple singles from his first three albums. His first album with Death Row, I think it was the first double disc in hip hop history, like the first double album, Diamond, 10 times platinum at this point. I think it has some of his best singles. Some might say it's his best album, and I wouldn't be mad at that at all. But this album is just special, man. Like, even the cover alone is just special. Him throwing up the W and the Death Row chain. Even though his eyes look sad, I always think like, look what I'm doing now, man. The inside of it, try to get the whole thing in there. I know it's a big ass vinyl. Just some of the producers that worked on here: Dr. Dre, Daz, Johnny J, DJ Quick. I think they gave him like some of the best music, and it was only recorded in 2 weeks. So just imagine he recorded an album a week. Like, soon as he came home, like fresh out, out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. Like, he just got right to it, and I think DJ Pooh, I forgot about DJ Pooh. It's just dope, man. Like, everything about this album is just classic, and I just remember like my older cousins having this album. It's like one of them that had like the digital. It's like something digital on the cover, and I remember like, oh yeah, it says like digital remastered on it. I just remember the CDs, and I like, not to fan out a bit, but I remember like the smell of the CDs. Like, those, like, kids nowadays, they don't even get that like kind of nostalgic kind of thing, like how CDs used to smell when you took them out of the package. And the booklet is, I know that's some weird fan shit, but it just shows that everything that was dope in this album. This vinyl is huge. It has 4 vinyls in it. It's very heavy. Like, I got this from the Grammy Museum when they had like a Tupac, what do you call it? Yeah, they had a Tupac exhibit there, which was dope. They had like his Duke jersey, one of his Versace suits, his notebook, I think it was the Machiavelli thing, and it was like a plan, like a notebook full of like video treatments. I think America's Most Wanted was one of them, and it had like the master recording of like Dear Mama in there. It was just a dope exhibit. So I'm just gonna put this down, and I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna talk about some of my favorite records, some of the highlights. Just have a good time with it. For its 25th anniversary, this is crazy. Like I said, this album was recorded in 2 weeks, like fresh out of jail. He came home on a mission. Rumor has it like he had a 3-album deal with Suge Knight. So his plan was, my first album be a double disc, and then my second album, that would complete my 3 contract thing. I think it was a little bit more complicated than that. The original title, can you look up the original title for All Eyez on Me? It's like some Tupac shit. Some deep Tupac title. The title of the album was originally called Euthanasia, and Suge Knight was like, nah. Let's not go that way. I guess from a business standpoint, Suge Knight was like, bro, this is like pretty much not your comeback album. Like, this is your first album on Death Row, and you was alive in the 90s. You know how great the Death Row roster was. This is the last album Dr. Dre produced on before he left Death Row. This is Tupac's last album. We get the only, I guess we got one, I think it was the gang-related soundtrack, where we get him and Snoop Dogg on here. This album is just special, man. Like, so let me get into it. The album starts with Ambitions of a Rider, and just a disclaimer, I'm not going to go through each track because this is a double album, for Christ's sake. So I'm just going to go through some of my highlights that I love from the album. Ambitions of a Rider, to start off the album, that was like the first song he recorded coming to Death Row. So just imagine, and that beat is just so iconic, and Daz flipping the Pee Wee Herman sample just to do this. Like, in a lot of these songs, I think they were songs that meant for the Dog Pound already, meant for Snoop Dogg already, but Death Row was such a family. They was like, Tupac's in the family now. Suge was like, give him all the best stuff. And I think he did. I think they did. And especially the first disc. I think the first disc is better than the second disc, but my favorite song is on the second disc. But the first disc is a classic by itself. They could have released All Eyes on Me with just the first disc. I'm gonna go down just the track list and really quickly. Ambitious of a Rider, All About You, Scandalous, Got My Mind Made Up, How Do You Want It, Two of America's Most Wanted, No More Pain, Hearts of Men, Life Goes On, Only God Can Judge Me, Trading War Stories, California Love, I Ain't Mad At You, and What's Your Phone Number. That 14 songs right there is a greatest hits album. Like, it is a greatest hits album. But Ambitious of a Rider, I just remember hearing that as a kid, and how it's just to hear him, the first word, I won't deny it, I'm a straight rider. Doom, 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 doom. And he just goes, you could tell he's getting, because he said he didn't write in prison at all. Like, he said that prison is not like a inspiring place. So you can imagine and you can hear in the record all this shit that was probably boiled up in him, like, I think he was in jail for like a year almost, and you could just hear everything that was boiled up in him from that to that point. And on that song, he just let everything go. 3 verses. Back when rap songs had 3 verses, it seemed like that's just a myth nowadays. But just going off, what does he say? So many battlefield scars by driven and plus cars. This life is a rap star, is nothing but outlaws. Born rough and rugged, addressing the mass public. My attitude is fuck it, cause motherfuckers love it to be a soldier. Must contain composure. Like, just the first track, and you just start off them like, oh my gosh, like, Jesus Christ, this guy. No wonder he was who he was at the time. I could imagine, because I was only 5 when this came out, so I got onto it later in life. But I could imagine being in your teens and being an adult when Tupac dropped this album, you're just like, this shit is ridiculous. Just start the album off with that. All About You, crazy. And the second song is like commercial, like straight commercial. Like, it just gets to a commercial sound. And to think that, just to go back really fast, Ambitious of a Rider was never a single, but you would think it was a single. That's how dope Tupac was. All About You, great record. With Snoop and Nate Dogg. Snoop at the end of it, Outlaws on it. Scandalous is one of my favorite records. I love when I guess how he describes how the female was so scandalous at the beginning. He was like, yeah, I know about some scandalous bitches. If you think about the case that he had and everything else. And one of my favorite lines was like, before I let her get me, I got her. Went in a person, took $100. Nigga, I'm so scared. I was like, Tupac, why you robbing this girl for $100? Imagine Tupac stealing $100 out your purse after you wake up and shit. Like, damn, I know like, you probably wouldn't even think that Tupac took that. You probably just think I lost it. Got My Mind Made Up was a Dog Pound record that they gave to Tupac, Method Man, Redman, Daz, and Corrupt on. I think Corrupt is so underrated as a rapper. It's just ridiculous. Got My Mind Made Up is the only song that could resemble something that could have been on Me Against the World. Like, it has that hip hop feel to it. And I think they took Inspector Deck off of it, and he was kind of mad about it. But he's like, at the end, Daz said, I think it was like a Drink Champs interview, and he's like, he left him at the end just because, like, with this, like, that's the only part he had on it. How Do You Want It? Another great record. Look at the track list and How Do You Want It? Another great record. It's funny, I was having a conversation with somebody in the comments of one of the other Tupac reviews I did. If you want to check it out, Me Against the World or 7 Day Theory. And it was like, imagine being in a club and How Do You Want It comes on, and then Tupac just randomly goes and starts shitting on politicians in the middle of the song. Like, you all dancing and shit. He's like, fuck you, Dolores Tucker. Bill Clinton, Bob Dole, you too old to understand. Hold on, what? I thought I ain't come to think about the Democratic Party right now. Pac, I'm in the party. Just shows you how great of a writer, and just even on songs where you wouldn't think he would go political, he talks about that on How Do You Want It? and get away with it. I think he's the only rapper that could do, just to show you the balance of the Gemini. Like his mind was probably like, yeah, I want to hit, fuck this bitch. You know what? Fuck this. Bill Clinton, Bob Doe. I just thought that was dope. Two of America's Most Wanted. I remember seeing that video as a kid and just, it's Tupac and Snoop. Like if you understand how big those two rappers were in the 90s and still are to this day, that collaboration is monumental. What's the Tupac opening line? Picture perfect, I paint a perfect picture. Bomber Hoosies with precision. My attention took it richer with the essence. Like that's just the I walk through the day and I would just randomly say a picture perfect, I paint a perfect picture. and Snoop with that. I always think Snoop sounds like Slick Rick. That's just me. But he comes in with that Slick Rick flow. I just love it. No More Pain, Devontae from Jodeci. One of my favorite lines, I'm going to say for my best lines, come from that record. Great record. It's just so fucking dope. Hearts of Men. The DJ Quick, Suge, that was on his greatest hits albums, oddly. Let me say, Suge, what I told you when I get out, the first thing I would do was gonna bomb on these niggas. And like, get the binoculars. And like, he goes into the Hearts of Men with the Richard Pryor sample. It's just dope. I just love that shit. Life Goes On. That's another one that was on his greatest hits album. And it's hard for me to listen to that song sometimes just because I heard it so much growing up, and it's like kind of sad in a way. Like, as I bailed through the empty halls, breath stinking in my drawers, ring, 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 quiet y'all, incoming call. Like, I can still recite that shit, and I haven't probably listened to that song in decades. Like, that's how much it was listened to, or played in my household as a kid. Only God Could Judge Me. Fucking dope. Trade War Stories. Me and my niggas on the rise. California Love remix on every package. I guess if you got, I think it's on the UK version and the earlier press ups of All Eyes on Me, but it's always the remix on there. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of fucked up because the original one is the one. I mean, the remix beat is ridiculous as well. The remix beat is still hard, but that original one, I think it was something with Dre and leaving Death Row. It was something with that. If you know the backstory on why the remix version is on the album, let me know. I ain't mad at you. I remember he was such a premonitionist, is that a word, of death, that even in his video of I Ain't Mad at You, like, it's weird as a kid. I'm like, damn, when was Tupac alive? Like, as a kid, like, looking at the video, I was like, him in heaven already, him saving his friend from being shot, he gets shot, and he meeting all the legends in heaven, and he's in the white suit, and he's like the angel watching over his friend, and as he plays back these stories. Great fucking record, great video, just great. I'm not sure if that video, did that come out after he passed? No, I don't think it came out after he passed, but he died so... He died so fast. Like, the album came out. What month did the album come out? Oh, today. It's today, February. What I'm talking about. It's the 25th anniversary. It came out February. He died in September. So, I'm pretty sure he was still releasing singles from All Eyes on Me by the time he died, which is crazy. And he released 7 Day Theory in the same year. Nuts. What's Your Phone Number with Danny Boy? I always think that's a funny record. The times flip and everything like that. I really enjoyed that record as well. I really enjoyed that. It's kind of funny that was the last record on the side, I guess the first disc. I was going to say side A, but it ain't a vinyl. On the first disc, they go into You Can't See Me to get into the second disc, Can't See Me, the Dr. Dre, and I think that record is, every time I listen to it, I was like, Tupac was really excited to be on a Dr. Dre beat. Like, you could tell he was just very happy to be the blind stares of a million pairs of eyes looking hard, but they won't realize that they can't see the burn, burn, dun, dun. Like, it's like this West Coast beat, classic Dr. Dre beat, George Clinton on it, and his aggression, his tone, the way he just unleashing words on there, you could tell he was really, it sounded like he was trying to impress Dr. Dre. Like, look how good I can rap, Dre. Like, I've been asking for your beats for so long, and like, now I got one, and I'm gonna fucking murder this shit. Shorty Wanna Be a Thug's cool. Holla at Me. I love that record because it's not one, but it's one of the songs on here that I think could have lived on 7 Day. Like, when you see me, nigga, you better holla at me. He talks about friends trading on him, and the last verse when he goes and like he discusses his the situation that led him up to being in prison, and you know how she was telling lies and things of that nature. One night of passion kind of thing turned into a crazy life altering kind of thing. And I just love that song. Like, it's one of my sleeper favorites on here. Wonder Why They Call You Bitch. When We Ride, Thug Passion. I remember for being from DC and how they just the go-go version. I probably heard that song, the go-go version, more than I heard the the Tupac version. Picture Me Rolling, my favorite song on here. I think just the way it drops in is just like a boom. I just love the way it drops in, and my favorite line from there is like when he says, what you just played, is like, one life to live, it's so hard to be positive when niggas shooting at your crib. Mama, I'm still thugging, the world is a war zone, my homies is inmates, and most of them dead wrong. Full grown, finally a man, still scheming on ways to put some green inside the palms of my empty hands. Picture me rolling, my dreams are censored, my hopes are pawned. I'm like a fiend, I finally seeing all this dope is gone. My nerves are wrecked, heart beating, and my hands are swollen, thinking of the G's I be holding. Picture me rolling. Just, my dreams are censored, my hopes upon. Like, it's just only way he could get. That's just the Tupac we love, man. Like, that real touch your soul kind of Tupac. And again, I think All Eyez on Me has his best production. Like that, just to put it on that kind of luxurious beat. And I gotta give up RIP as well to my man Psych. My man Psych, I love that. I got keys coming from overseas, costing nigga 200 G's. I'm a street commando. You know, for example, this lavish lifestyle is hard to handle. Like, I just love the way Psych just come on there. I got keys. Like, I just love that shit. Check Out Town, another Psych verse on there that was dope. Tupac went off on there, and it's a part. This is me fanning out, but it's a part on there. Hoochie and the homie dirty dancing with my man and me. Told her I was interested. Picture of the shit we did. I got a hot and horny all up on me with a freaky bitch. First I argued, then I fight it till you lick me where I like it. It don't matter, just don't bite it. What'd he say? Like a nigga all excited. It don't matter, just don't bite it. And there's somebody in the background like, damn. Like damn, this nigga just went off on a crazy ass flow. Like, you could just tell he was just in the zone. Like, and again, to record this album in 2 weeks, it's fucking magical. I'd rather be a nigga, my man Richie Rich. It was a joy to see Pac on, you know, I think E40's on here. Not that record, but just the latter end of the album to have E40 and Richie Rich and these rappers from the Bay on here, because, you know, that was his home. Just to have them on this album, I thought was just dope. Just dope. He had East Coast people, West Coast people. Like, only thing that was really missing that probably would have been dope on this album is like a Scarface feature. That would have been fucking dope. All Eyez on Me with Big Psych again. It had to be weird because him and Nas had the same sample, used the same sample in the same year. Street Dreams I made of it. The same beat as All Eyez on Me, which is, I don't know if that probably led to more confusion with Tupac and Nas, but I'm not gonna say which one. I probably like All Eyez on Me a little bit more. Yeah, I probably like this song All Eyez on Me more than Street Dreams, but that's just me. Best songs, I'm gonna go with Picture Me Rolling, Ambitions of a Rider, and Hearts of Men. Worst song, I'm gonna go with, sorry ladies, but I'm gonna go with Run the Streets. Best line is from No More Pain, where he says, my only fear in death is reincarnation. Heart of a soldier with the brain to teach a whole nation and feel no more pain. When I heard that, I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, my only fear of death is reincarnation. Like, that's like, you don't hear people say shit like that. Like, it's either like, I want to be reincarnated into a bug or something. I want like some stupid shit. But it's like, but for a person, a 25-year-old at the time, saying like, my only fear of death is reincarnation. Heart of a soldier with the brain to teach a whole nation and feel no more pain. You can't really. That shit just dope. Let's wrap this up. Yeah. All the homies. To close it out, All Eyez on Me, it's a classic album, and it dropped the same day as the Fugees' The Score, which is crazy. So we got two classic hip-hop albums on the same day. One of Tupac's best, not my favorite Tupac album, 7 Day Theory is, but I wouldn't be mad if somebody said All Eyez on Me. I can understand it. It's just dope that he was able to, because it's kind of like the underdog story, even though he wasn't an underdog, but it's kind of the underdog story coming back after being beat down, and then you come back with not one, but two CDs, double disc, smack people in the face, and just to remind them how great you are, and you kind of reach your biggest moment as an artist. Well, he did as an artist at this point, and it's sad that, you know, he was taken away so shortly after, like, because this album is so amazing. He didn't even really reap the benefits of this album, like financially or just people. Like, it released in February, he died in September. He didn't even really get to tour this album. Only footage really is the House of Blues performance, and it's great because it's Tupac, but it was so many technical difficulties in that for me it kind of takes like he never got to really perform in Business of a Rider. No More Pain, Trading War Stories, Two of America's Most Wanted. Like I said, we get the House of Blues, but it's not like those songs are so special, man. Like that. What's the other song? I Ain't Mad at You. Like you could see I could see a crowd of people singing these records with just joy. He never got to see that. So this album is great, but it's also bittersweet at the same time for me because just how much he missed of it. Like he really didn't see the success of it. I feel the same way when I listen to new artists like Pop Smoke and I'm hearing how successful it is, and it's like, damn, you didn't even get to see how great we thought this was. Like I'm pretty sure he got a little bit of flowers. Like Tupac is, damn, it's great you home, and I love the new album type shit. And then even then he was on to the next shit. Like he was like, oh, you like my new album? That's cool. Listen to my new shit though. Like he making 7 Day Theory already. Like he was moving so fast he didn't even get to enjoy it, which is just bittersweet when you look back at it in retrospect. But I'm happy I have it in my collection. I'm happy I could talk about it here. I'm pretty sure every Tupac fan loves this album. It's Diamond, for Christ's sake. So I just want to give it some recognition and, just praise it a little bit on this 25th anniversary. It's the least I could do, Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm Tatum. This is All Eyes on Me by Tupac. It's time to put this record back on my wall. And happy 25th as well.